We will be beginning with the event in about 10 minutes or so. So if you guys want, you can check out the stalls. Yeah? Thank you. Kindly step into that room. And people who want to use the restroom, they can also take the other room behind the blood donation room. Refreshments will be here soon, so you can help yourself. Thank you. A very good morning to all of you who are present, and what an exciting beginning to the new weekend. What could be better than spending these 2 days with our beloved CTCians, guest speakers, and our well-wishers on account of Trek Polama Season 4. I know it sounds like Ed and Super Singer Season 4, but trust me, this is a lot more exciting and exhilarating. So, we're here to imbibe the thoughts of some of the most renowned guest speakers from across the country, and also to share our own views on it. So, I'm not going to take much of your time. Okay. Nevertheless, for those who are relatively new to this forum, let me give you a brief introduction about CTC and Trek Polama. CTC is a group of like-minded people who are mostly nature lovers and trekking enthusiasts who conduct events almost all weekends of the year. We not only organize treks, but also conduct social events, cycling treks, photography workshops. You can keep adding on to the list. I'm sure you'll get to know about it pretty soon. And about Trek Polama, we consider this as the biggest event of CTC every year. Trek Polama is nothing but a common platform for you to be aware about the outdoors, adventure, wildlife, photography, etc. So, again, welcome you all to Trek Polama Season 4 on account of CTC's 5th birthday. Thank you. We now have our first guest speaker for the day, Sandhya Rajaraman. Sandhya, I welcome you on the stage. She's here to talk about how important it is to plant trees, preserve trees, and conserve trees before it is too late, irrespective of your physical fitness or your financial capability. My mentor once told me, talk you may, stop you must. So let me not go on and on. I hand over the dais to Sandhya. Have a great day.
Thanks a lot for having me. That's a really nice introduction. I'll jump straight into the topic. About 3 weeks back, when I was looking for ideas to actually start this presentation, a good friend of mine from CTC dropped by my house for a cup of tea. I was really proud, and I'm this blabbermouth who's overexcited about everything, and I'm telling him, you know what? I'm going to do a presentation about tree plantation at Trek Polama. He looks at me like up and down and goes, do you know how to plant a coconut tree? It was a very valid question, I don't deny it, but I didn't know. And at that point of time, I must have looked either stupid or very startled, and then he looks at me and says, get somebody who really knows the facts to do it. So I consulted my best friend, also known as Google. And here's what I learned. Slide, Shiva. Say hello to Shiva. He's a very active organizer in tree plantation, and he's going to be my slide boy for the next 1 hour. When I consulted Google, I was thrown with a couple of images of Wall-E, who is going to be my official mascot for the next 1 hour, because I see a lot of myself in him. I am this extremely cleanliness conscious person who doesn't know much about planting trees, but I have pretty much the same fascination. So there's not really much difference between Wall-E and this, which is supposed to be me. We're very, very intrigued by saplings, but we don't know how to plant them. Slide. Slide. In a nutshell, this is what tree plantation is. You basically dig a pit, Then you fill the pit with manure and other substances which aid the growth of a plant. Then you either plant a sapling or a seed. And then you keep caring for it, nurturing it, watering it, and in due course of time it will grow. Slide. To a city dweller, the process of tree plantation is slightly different. Since we're all very corporate, I decided to make a very attractive flowchart which essentially says the same thing. First, find a place to plant a tree. I know real estate is big money in the city, but identifying ideal locations to plant trees is a huge task. Gathering materials. Most of us don't know the difference between a rake and a spade, but there is a lot of difference between them. Getting saplings. Now, saplings about yay height, about 30 bucks. A little taller, 50, 80. And depending on the variety of the tree or how healthy the sapling really is, the rate differs. Actually planting. This is where we require a lot of physical effort. Digging a pit is no easy task. And then procuring the manure for it, filling it up. Of course, we're not very accustomed to getting our hands messy, but it's part of the deal and it's part of planting. Ultimately, maintenance. Now, after planting, it's about 1.5 days work if you're an extremely slow person. But maintenance is something that goes on for the next 6 years at least. It takes 7 years for a coconut tree to actually give coconuts, and that's how long it requires maintenance. Slide. Why plant a tree in the first place? A lot of us have a variety of reasons for having various interests. Trekking, for instance. You might find peace in it, you might find a sense of adventure and adrenaline rush. But in essence, all trekkers are nature lovers. Do you agree with me? A lot of these pictures here seem to depict greenery, water, essentially beautiful places. Now, what accentuates the beauty of these places? Hello? What accentuates the beauty of these places is the greenery, the wildlife and the water that comes along with it. How many times have you gone up to picnic pool in Nagala and actually said, the water here is better than any Bisleri or Aquafina bottle I've had in the city? You can actually dip into the water and come out without yucky things sticking to your hair or your head. That is the nature that we truly love. So the reason why we are trying to encourage and inspire people to plant trees is because that's exactly what we are trying to conserve. It's nature. That's why we go trekking. Most of us go all the way up to Nagala because we find shade in trees over there. That's something we do not find in the cities. Slide. There are a lot of advantages. I'm sure this is your third standard environmental studies stats, so I don't have to bore you to death with it on a Saturday morning, but I am going to. Why? I will tell you in the future slides. A tree combats carbon dioxide in excess and heat. It helps fight pollution. It actually prevents soil erosion. It helps purify your groundwater, which means you don't have to go for a variety of hair products. Your water can actually do everything that Dove and Pantene advertise for. It maintains the seasons and the balance in nature, and it provides oxygen, it provides food, it provides shelter for a lot of wildlife animals. Slide. This is it's an image from an article that was published in the Times of India and the Hindu. It is backed up by a lot of scientific facts, which I can give you right now, but it will be easier if you just go read it, because the links are going to be on the CTC blog very soon. But I will tell you in essence what it means. These are the heat zones in Chennai. Now you can find the place where you actually live. For instance, I live in Tinagar and I commute all the way up to Sholinganallur and back every day. 4 hours of my day is spent on a bus. And the amount of heat and the amount of pollution that I encounter is alarming. I mean, I am a standing example, including my hair fall. But what this particular article is trying to tell us is you are living in a pressure cooker. Essentially, every single day, your summer heat is just going to increase by that many degrees, which is proportional to the number of tissue papers and the number of trees you're cutting down. How many of us are in the habit of using at least 5 to 10 tissue papers in the restroom in office? I'm sure we'd love to have a cup of coffee from that beautiful styrofoam or paper cup, which is beautifully marketed by UDS in all of SIPCOT's buildings. fact is, a lot of these people just buy the cups, but they don't bother about replanting the trees necessary to manufacture them in future. The red areas depict severe heat constraints. These are the places probably which have the maximum number of air conditioners. And let me tell you, 2 trees in your backyard can bring down your air conditioning bill by at least 30%. And it's not that difficult to actually plant a tree. Slide. Now here are a couple of facts, which is again backed by a lot of scientific articles that we've actually read. Air pollution is known to inhibit the development of babies in the womb, which means you're already half affected by pollution even before your feet hits the floor on this planet. Also, in South Asia, air pollution is known to be the 6th most dangerous killer, which means you are a lot more likely to drop dead from air congestion in your lungs than you are to either commit suicide or get hit by a truck. I will send you the list again. The absence of trees has a direct effect on the amount of rainfall that you have in a particular region. Now, if you've seen the movie Kumki, there is one particular scene where the village headman is shouting at the forest authorities, asking them to go back and mind their own business. Why? Because they were instrumental in converting all of the hill slopes into tea estates. Now, the trees on top of mountains are responsible for attracting the clouds, which in turn brings rainfall, which in turn keeps your streams running perennially, and therefore a lot of birds and human beings and villages along the way are benefited from it. But what do? We cut down the trees and we manufacture organic tea in large numbers, which is exported to foreign countries. What you get is just tea dust. Finally, groundwater is salty basically due to the lack of trees. A lot of roots are responsible for converting the salt water into fresh water. It absorbs the minerals because the tree requires it, and therefore your water becomes fresh. Slide. Okay, I shared a video on Facebook. You can probably look at it in my wall. But just go Google Midway, M-I-D-W-A-Y. This is an island somewhere down on the Pacific where an excessive congestion of plastics has led to the death of several rare species of birds. Now, this might seem, the title of the slide says on a tangential note, it might seem unrelated to a presentation on trees. But for your benefit, I have a little flowchart down here. We cut down trees, we replace the presence of trees with a lot of plastic litter. The birds don't